I went by your house, what a big mistake. But for a while I thought that I wouldn't break. I need something else to clear my head. Someone to tell me how to live instead. Just open your eyes and take my advice. Stop rolling the dice and just compromise. It's the chance of your life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say. Take control of your own life. Right now, every mistake makes you feel like a babe. Take control of your own life. Without any thought, I keep moving on. I don't even care if my soul is gone. So many words that I should have said. Not concerned about how to live instead. Just open your eyes and take my advice. Stop rolling the dice and just compromise. It's the chance of your life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say. Take control of your own life. Right now, every mistake makes you feel like a babe. Take control of your own life. Nothing in life is good. Tired and misunderstood. I would fight if I could. If I believed I should. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say. Take control of your own life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say. Take control of your own life. Right now, every mistake makes you feel like a babe. Take control of your own life.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you coming in. I appreciate people who want to improve their lives, and sometimes that's not an easy thing. Excuse me. Sometimes that's not an easy thing to do on YouTube. There's a lot of negativity and in the world, actually. So it's not just on YouTube, but all over the place. So, we're just going to talk about it again. I talked about gratitude several months ago, and unfortunately, I have fallen out of my own patterns. And so I need this refresher. And we're going to watch a TED Talk about a woman who has a brain tumor. And it's called The Science of Gratitude. But first, let me say hey to people. Hey, Amber. Hey, Shalima. Betty Dan Boop. No More. You like the lyric? I do too. I like that's a good upbeat song for a live stream about gratitude. The last time I talked about gratitude, I kind of challenged people or challenged y'all to keep a gratitude journal. And if I recall, the only person who said they did was Broken Justice at that point. And that was during a lot of turmoil on my channel. And I was trying to do non-drama stuff, and just was, and it just it's just hard. And so the last several months, unfortunately, I have really been down in this cycle of pain, physical pain and depression, which feed on each other. So I got to start today. Like, I've got to start today. And I hope you guys, if you're not practicing gratitude, will join me in thinking about, well, what could have happened? Like when the tree fell in my backyard and I was grateful. And back then I was really practicing it. I was so grateful. I was just like giddy almost that $1,200 worth of tree, that cost to get it removed, didn't land on my dogs or my home or even my elephant ears, and barely, hit my neighbor's fence, which he had already fixed when he moved in. Oh, hey, CLM. Yeah, good. I think you do enjoy this, and we're so, as people, like, we don't want to do what we know makes us feel better, right? Sometimes. But anyway, so I today I'm just grateful that somebody is in my live stream listening, and I am not going to worry about all the people who are missing out because that's their problem. And I'm walking into the future in a more positive direction again. It's fall, it's almost fall. We had some cooler temperatures, but it's getting hot again this week. But definitely did was able to get out last week and go fishing one morning when it was cool. And I've been a little bit more active this week, which actually helps my pain and depression. So take tips that I'm giving out, take them if you want them. If you don't want them, then that's cool too. But gratitude literally, well, it was a part of what saved my life. I mean, I wasn't about to take my life, but um, when I moved 4 years ago, when I moved here, I was 92 degrees, Amber. Wow. When I moved here, I basically was just like, I was mad. I was angry, and which is part of the depression. And I was, pissed at the world. And, um, I'm not going to do anything. I have to take care of my kids, and my kids are dogs. And unfortunately too, I mean, I'm down to just two of my dogs, and I love them to pieces. Um, and how do anybody who's a member, I posted this little dog. I think that was in members only. This little dog the other day, they said was a real sweetheart, and I'm like, no, I don't need another dog. And and then I look back on Facebook to see, because usually rescue groups will update that they've found a home. The dog's been adopted. And so I went in there and it didn't have any updates. And I'm like, there's no way this dog didn't get adopted. So I you know, asked them, did she get adopted? Hey, Salmonella. And they said, yes, but we have 5 or 6 scruffy little puppies. And I'm like, and they were going to be bigger, like about the size of my Shelby, who I just lost. But no, I need lap dogs, and I don't need another dog. I just thought if that sweetheart was still there, I don't know, I might have gone and got her, but there's no way a cute little. And they said she just was so submissive and just melt in your arms. Um, so my dogs, between having my dogs and their companionship and love and battlers of loneliness has always helped me. But then also getting exercising, and I started another career that I'm not doing now, but um anyway, so it's just, well, and the exercise. And then also I'm an introvert, and I was getting out and actually talking to people, and my life felt a lot better. And then, just gradually after I left that world and was just exercising on my own, and then um I got, anyway, so I picked back up with the gratitude back when I was talking about it before, 10 months ago or however long it was. And it no, before that, and it really just pulled me out. The gratitude, and it stuck with me, and I was practicing it. I didn't have a journal anymore because I just had the attitude of gratitude, and I didn't need to record it or think about it. It was just how I was living my life. But after that tree fell, and I don't really know what all happened, but I've sunk, I've sunk, and I think a lot of that has to do with what I'm taking into my mind, and also I eat too much. But the um the things that we take in, if we're taking in a lot of drama, and not TV drama because that doesn't affect us so much, but like drama on here, having feeling, seeing people hurting other people, being part of that, it's a tough thing once you sink into it. And even the people who on here may be acting like they're all, fine and everything, and this is just a game. My thoughts on that is that you're suffering too, and you may not realize it. You may not realize it's pulling you down. You may not, and it may not. Some people, I mean, it just may not. But yes, CLM. Yeah, the weather changes. The hot heat. Oh, Salma. Yeah, me too. I want all the little dogs in the shelters. And the two I have here both were, well, my last three were all rescues. And we can make a we can make a difference in a dog's life, a cat's life, a uh, other people's lives, just by being positive rather than negative. So let's um let's listen to this video, and please, if the stream stops, uh there's a couple of people in here who have my phone number, because I got struck the other day, like not a copyright strike, and it was, we were watching a video that's on YouTube, and so I'm really scared, and it's like if you took it down in time, they wouldn't have struck me, but I didn't know it was down. So if y'all could let me know if the stream stops for that, and I'm gonna jump off real quick. Um, I don't think it will, but I mean, if it does, maybe they've done some kind of update that we can't show anybody's videos. But just listen to this true story. This is here. Let me just preface it with what it says. This is from 2021. It's a 10-minute video. Says psychology instructor and researcher Christina Costa was working on her PhD when she was referred to get an MRI and discovered a large brain tumor in her right temporal lobe that was later diagnosed as grade 3 anaplastic astrocytoma. I don't know if I said any of that right, but I'm not a medical professional. In this talk, Christina connects her experience of living with brain cancer to her field of study can increase our well-being and what is happening in our brains when we experience and express gratitude. So you'll be able to hear from somebody who's actually an expert in this, and it's on her own life. So let's just get started with that. I got to share to you. I did share system audio. Let me know if you cannot hear it, and please let me know if the stream stops for some reason. Hey, Marion Ann Bays, welcome. Okay.
I would often ask my students to kiss their brain. I got this idea from visiting my friend's kindergarten classroom. She would ask her students to kiss their brain, and they would take their fingers, tap them to their mouth, and then to the top of their head, and it truly was as cute as you can picture it to be. So I decided to bring it back to my middle school classroom, which could have gone one of two ways.
Kiss the top of your head, kiss yourself. Can y'all hear that? Could you all hear that? Hey, Deb and PA. Welcome to Sunday morning, not church.
But it ended up being a really fun ritual for us too. And I would ask them to kiss their brain for all the work they did in class as a practice of gratitude. After teaching middle school, I came back to grad school to get my PhD in psychology. My research is within the area of positive psychology, which is a science that investigates the strengths and factors that allow individuals and communities to thrive. I also get to teach psychology to undergrad students and high school students. I love teaching psych, and my absolute favorite unit to teach in intro psych is the brain. But while I love teaching about the brain, I thought it would be pushing it to ask my undergrads, aka adults, to kiss their brain. So 3 years would go by before I would remember that fun phrase. One day after teaching last year, I had a terrible migraine that left half of my face numb and blurred my vision. The migraines kept happening. I saw multiple doctors, and then I started experiencing dizzy spells.
She's been through it, y'all. Can y'all hear that okay? And I mean, I have it up as loud as it'll go, so I hope you can hear okay, but let me know if you cannot. And also, let me know if the stream stops. One of you with my phone number, please, like, text me immediately. Okay.
The neurologist ordered an MRI, and I remember being so excited because then I would be able to use my own brain pictures when I taught brain imaging to my students. But as it turns out, my MRI wasn't too picture perfect. The doctor called me and asked me to go to the ER because there was a large mass in the right hemisphere of my brain, and that's where I saw the image for the first time. I have never been more scared in my life.
That I don't like, I'm not in radiology or any, have any medical experience, but that looks nasty, huh? That's a big tumor. And how this woman's going to practice gratitude with that in her brain.
Than I was that night, and with tears dripping down my face in the hospital, I kissed my brain for the first time since I had left my middle school classroom. I made it my mantra, and I kissed my brain every single day leading up to and after surgery. Then, 2 weeks later, after surgery, the pathology reports came back, and I was diagnosed with an anaplastic astrocytoma. The weeks following were very difficult. I tried to figure out what I was struggling with the most by looking back on all the things I had been writing about this experience. I wrote and posted this on Instagram about a week after I received that pathology report. I will keep fighting. I will keep loving. I will keep living. I will keep loving. I will keep living. And then about a week after that, I wrote this. Fighter. I tried it on to see how it felt because I kept hearing those words next to my name, like a job, like an identity, like a role. Fighter. I look at myself in the mirror. It felt okay at first, but soon it became exhausting. Too heavy to lift, too much to carry, too burdensome to bear. I took it off and left it on the floor. War was not for me. A body is not a battlefield. I realized that I had been introduced to the fight narrative. When people heard my diagnosis, I became a fighter. You're a fighter, keep fighting. Beat this tumor were the top comments. And then there was the internet, the place I so desperately searched for people who were doing well with their diagnosis. But the top hashtags to search for were brain tumor suck, cancer sucks, and cancer fighter.
So all this negativity, like negativity coming at her about the fighting, just the cancer sucks, and so she's going to turn this into a more positive than that.
I understand completely why those hashtags exist, but I was so eager to find the hashtag, hi, I have a brain tumor that might never go away and I'm still living and thriving, and I guess there just isn't a ring to that one.
Hey, Angie Ray. And basically what she's saying is that the more, the negative stuff was getting all the headlines and the hashtags, and it's the drama. It's the, oh, cancer sucks. You're a fighter. You're a fighter. But she's not wanting to go that route.
I hated the idea that I was going to be at war with my brain because I had spent months and years kissing it instead. I hated the suggestion of naming my tumor something awful because the reality is that it was going to be my neighbor for the rest of my life. And I hated the guided imagery training that asked me to picture chemo as an army coming to battle the cancer cells because I didn't want to spend over a year of my life at war with my own body. I can see how these elements of the fight narrative can be empowering for people, but for me, I knew it wasn't going to work. So I started to reference well-being practices that I had learned from my own studies.
Wow, what a thought. Changing from the negative thoughts to, what can I do to make myself feel better? Better. It's like when a depressed person reaches for a drug or alcohol to make themselves feel better. That's negative. That's not going to make you feel better. In the moment, it might, but in the long run, it's not going to. But, many of us do it. And also, I have a lot of pain and I easily could have been addicted to pain meds that were given to me by my doctor. But fortunately for me, my body didn't become addicted to those. And that wasn't a problem long term. I mean, I think that it helped with the depression to make it worse when I was taking opioids for pain, but in the long run, I didn't have the lifetime effects of it that a lot of people do.
Doctors always laugh with me when they find out that I'm a biopsych and neuroscience major and psych PhD student. Then, when they ask what I'm studying and I tell them I study resilience and well being, they either laugh again, say something like, "Oh, that's irrelevant," or go, "Aw." The irony was never lost on me. I have read so many stories and studies of resilience, but I never pictured the day that I would have to personally experience it. I read and taught about gratitude practices specifically as a well being strategy, and even though I knew the positive effects, I had never seriously practiced them myself. I started to incorporate some of these exercises into my life. I tried to stop focusing on what my body had done wrong and focus on the gratitude I had for my body instead.
Wow, I need to hear this too. Okay. Well, for me, while I'm having pain down my leg and my leg is going numb and my back hurts and my neck hurts, at least I'm able to still walk and I don't have to go out and do anything too grueling that I don't choose to do. And I mean, there's so many ways to be grateful, but I don't know if I could be grateful with a brain tumor, but let's just see what she says.
And really, I realized this is something I had been doing when I was kissing my brains those days leading up to and after surgery. Gratitude became the tool that helped me restructure my vision of illness and disability when the world was telling me I should fight it instead. Instead of thinking about if I would be able to have kids one day, I thought of how amazing it was that my brain, despite its trauma, was able to deliver the perfect amount of hormones to my body to produce enough eggs to save for a later date. Every time I went to radiation and was put in my mask, I kissed my brain and I focused on the resident telling me how the healthy cells would be able to repair over time and the cancer cells.
Hey, Maisie. Negativity affects one. Being down makes one tired, and fighting does make one tired. Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm exhausted and fighting my own battles with my brain and my pain, and I'm exhausted, I mean, I keep saying me because I've only got my experiences to share, and I have a lot of experiences having major surgeries and this constant pain, and it wears on me constantly, and I'm doing everything I can. I've got to, I've incorporated a few things into my diet that helps with inflammation, and also taking some foods out, and then also, I mean, I'm not making any major changes, um but stepping up the gratitude starting today, and if I have to keep a journal to remember to do it, I'll do that. I'm going to do whatever I can to feel better at this point. Not I don't mean anything I can, because certain medications would, you know, temporarily make me feel better. I'm not saying that. I'm saying things I can do to help me feel better, like just go to the lake. I don't have to go fishing. I could just go to the lake and just observe, I mean, I live in a beautiful place, and anyway.
could not. And when the operative
Yes, I will. This is a TED talk, and yeah, I'll post it in the comments. I'll post it in the description to this video, and then I think she has other social media, but this is a TED talk. But yeah, I'll post this, and then you can find her information from it.
notes came back from my surgery, a day that I remember very well and had been scared to think about, I read the note out loud, sobbing happy and grateful tears, thinking about what my neurosurgeon's team did. I started to feel such an immense sense of gratitude for science, medicine, and my medical team that those thoughts started to drown out the what is my life going to be like thoughts. The more I practiced gratitude, the more peace I felt with my situation, and this got me interested in what could be happening with the science of gratitude at a neurological level. There are several positive psychological and social outcomes of gratitude, like increases in happiness, decreases in depression, having stronger relationships, and experiencing positive emotion. But what's interesting is there are actual physical outcomes as well, like having a stronger immune system and experiencing less pain. When we express gratitude, our brain releases dopamine and serotonin, two important neurotransmitters responsible for our emotions and our mood. Expressing gratitude also helps us regulate stress hormones, and fMRI studies show us that several parts of our brain and pathways are activated when we experience and express gratitude.
What do y'all think about that? What she's saying? I mean, it's like it's actually. I mean, it's science. Gratitude is not just some, you know, I don't know what generation it started in or anything, but it's actual science what she's talking about. And how, I mean, if I can be grateful and it will help with my pain, well, hell yeah, I'm going to be I'm going to practice this shit.
One of these parts is the medial prefrontal cortex, an area associated with the management of negative emotions. Together, these changes in neurotransmitters and hormones, combined with the activated neural pathways, help us cognitively restructure potentially harmful thoughts to better manage our circumstances. And the cool thing is that we can intentionally activate these gratitude circuits in our brain. In general, the more we do something, the easier it becomes, and our brains work the same way. The more we activate these gratitude circuits, the less effort it takes to stimulate those pathways the next time, and the stronger those pathways become. Neuroplasticity is a term I teach my students that refers to our brain's ability to form new neural connections throughout life, which means this is something that anyone can practice and get better at over time. So I kept practicing gratitude even when it seemed impossible. I continue to thank my brain for the amazing work it does as I prepare for 12 more rounds of chemo this year. I write down 3 things I'm grateful for and why I'm grateful for them, no matter what, every morning that I wake up. I write thank you notes to my heroes in healthcare, nurses who get the IV in the first time, the anesthesiology resident who held my hand during the awake portions of my surgery, radiation therapists that play my playlist during treatment, and administrative staff that makes me smile every time I walk into the hospital. I do want to take a second here and practice what I teach to shout out my doctors and their teams from the Michigan Medicine Multidisciplinary Brain Tumor Clinic. I have never met such intelligent, kind, and patient people. Thank you for making me feel brave when I sometimes felt the opposite. I think
Don't make
the
me
universe
cry.
might think it's funny that a psych instructor and researcher who studies well-being ended up with a brain tumor. The truth is that we need more awareness and more research regarding brain tumors and brain cancer. Doctors can't exactly predict how my tumor will behave, and really, none of us can predict what our lives are going to be like exactly. But what I hope I can show you is that we can also be grateful for the unexpected challenges. I don't want to dismiss people who may find the fight narrative empowering. I also don't want to suggest that it's by any means easy to find ways to be grateful in dealing with adversity. This has been the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. But I do want to empower those that feel like me, that there's another way to go through whatever your journey may be, that loving your body doesn't have to be conditional, and that by practicing gratitude, we can actually wire our brains to help us build resilience. And lastly, I hope everyone, no matter where you are or what you are doing, can take a second to kiss your own brain and thank it for all that it does for you.
Sweet. How do y'all feel about that? I really I'm just so happy I found this video because I really didn't realize that it was scientific. I just thought it was like behavioral, and that gratitude was just something that made me feel better, but not, I never thought about it scientifically. It is powerful, isn't it? And oh, thank you, CLM. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Um to think that somebody has a major, they have a huge brain tumor that's never going away, but could still practice gratitude and be able to share it with other people. I don't know. It's just it's not something that's really hard to do. You can fake it till you make it, right? Um, but you can start out with um, the three things every morning. Just write it down on a piece of paper. Just get a ratty old notebook. It doesn't have to be anything pretty, and just write down three things. Three things I'm grateful today that I woke up. And I wasn't grateful when I woke up that some dog was barking outside and my dogs wanted to get up and I wanted to sleep, but I'm grateful that they didn't pee in the floor. And I'm grateful that when I got up, I have a home. I got up out of a bed. I didn't get up out of a cardboard box on the street. And then I'm able to walk, and then I'm able to manage living by myself. Um, I'm able to take care of myself. And there comes a time in life when we can't do that. Some people, when you have to have help constantly. And I like Celine Dion. Celine Dion is in, I don't know what she does about gratitude. I don't know why she popped in my mind, but she's got that stiff person syndrome, and doctors don't know that much about it. And there's nothing that can be done about it. And she's still trying to fight and come back and be a singer again. And she's not going to be able to do that unless some miracle happens. But I just can't imagine the pain. But yeah, my thought on that was, having to have somebody to take care of you. And here she was with this major, she's a major star, and now she's having to be cared for, and is not in good health. Yes, the brain and sleep, and yeah, the sleep. Actually was going to do a live stream about sleep too. I've been working on trying to get to bed earlier because I do wake up in the morning. And then I was reading an article about sleep that was saying that as you age, it's just a natural thing that your body wakes up. And so my only solution to that then is I'm just going to go to bed earlier because I just feel like I'm not getting enough sleep. And the last 3 or 4 nights I've had dreams that I remember, and I haven't been doing that for a long time. And I'm having dreams, and they're not necessarily good dreams, but I think that's a sign that you're sleeping. I don't know, sleeping better. My sleep. I've got a smart watch and a sleep thing on my app that goes with that on my phone. And yes, there's a reason why we sleep. We don't just sleep because some person decided that we should sleep. It's our normal. It's how we're made. We're made to rest and regenerate and sleep. And typically, if you think about, like, before everybody had electricity and everything. I mean, dark time, you go to bed. You just go to bed and then you're up at the crack of dawn, literally. Yeah, I might be, Amber. I might be. My watch keeps up with that as well. I haven't looked at today's yet, but I think since I really started trying to do this, really get better sleep was a week or so ago. I think I've gotten 8 hours sleep a couple of times, which is what I want to sleep is 8 hours. But sleep will help with everything. And I'm grateful to have a bed. I have a bed. I have a home. I have two sweet puppies. I call them puppies. Hey, Angela. I call them puppies because I just do. Um, my dogs have gotten this thing since Shelby crossed the Rainbow Bridge where they think if they go outside, they get a treat, which has never been how it's been. We don't get a treat every time. Uh-oh, I said that word. We don't get one every time we go out. And for some reason, they think they do now. But they're cute and I love it. And it doesn't matter where I go in my house. Rusty follows me everywhere. Rosie does some. She used to, but Rusty's laying over on the sofa. He can see me where he's laying. He can see me from there. And he's just staring at me. He's like, I'm going to go pee in the floor if you don't hurry up and get in here and get off TV. Okay, no more. Does anybody else in here, do y'all practice gratitude? Have you had periods in your time when you did that? Are you willing to try? No, not try. Are you willing to do that going forward? Because it is something that works. And obviously it worked for this lady and it's worked for me. And I'm getting back to it. I've got to get back to it and stop fretting about I'm just being honest here. This YouTube drama and everything is it pulls us down. And while I'm not in the middle of it, I'm on the edge of it, and I'm aware of a lot of things, and it's a negativity that I don't want. This constant name calling and putting each other down, because really, where does that get us? And so there's only a few ways to combat that. And one of those is to stop watching and listening. And another way is to, replace that. I mean, if, you know, we're having a bad time, like I'm not going to pretend like I'm doing well because I'm struggling. I've been struggling for a long time, for many months now. And I still am. And I've gotten out more this past week, and I've been conscious of, that I can get better, but I'm going to have to do the work. Nobody's going to make me feel better. And I listen to a lot less of what's going on here that's negative. Um, and then, just feeling, what do I fill that time with? Well, it's football season, so I watched football yesterday. Um, it's the beginning of the season, so it's not real thrilling, but and then movies and television and things that distract. And now when fall hits, I can start getting out more and doing more stuff as these temperatures start cooling down. It's been tough summer. A lot of the country's been in major heat this summer, and it's hard on us. And it takes an effort to keep your head above water at times. I don't know about, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I know not everybody has depression and anxiety, and not everybody has chronic pain, but you can take what people or a brain tumor, you can listen to what other people do, and instead of listening to all the negative things that people are saying about each other. Well, just replace all that with something more positive. Oh, fine. If you if you're on YouTube and you start, um, just because you watch this today, YouTube will send you other similar content. YouTube's going to send you what you watch. When I started back fishing, all I got was fishing. I mean, I was getting a ton of fishing videos, and I subscribed to some of the channels and everything, but I'm not watching them currently because I haven't been fishing because it's been so damn hot. But as you do things like that, YouTube's gonna, if you want to stay around YouTube, they're gonna feed you what you watch. And lately I have been watching a lot of DUI stops and um things like that. I'm always grateful that that's not me because in my really younger days, I did drink and drive back before Mothers Against Drunk Driving and everything made it so, and this was, I'm talking like in the 80s. Oh, thank you, Betty Dan Boop. Thank you. And so, I can be grateful that I never hurt anybody while I was driving or got in trouble or anything like that. When we were doing the cocaine, just having it in my possession could have gotten me in huge trouble. And fortunately, I don't know, grace of God or luck or something, I never got in trouble with that. And then when I was um again, the doctor prescribed opioids for my pain. I never lost control with that or had a problem with that. I don't think they were good for my brain, but I didn't get addicted. Fortunately, my body I guess just didn't become addicted to them, but I'm very grateful for that. I mean, I could have I mean, I really it's pretty much a miracle that I'm alive considering overdosing on cocaine several times, having grand mal seizures. But I never, and then another thing is I never got taken to the hospital. Now I'm grateful for that, but at the same time, maybe that would have helped me to stop sooner. But I stopped when I stopped, and whatever brain damage it did, having grand mal seizures, maybe suffering from that now. Maybe that's why I'm like, maybe that's why I lose my train of thought. I don't know. Um, I had a terrible car wreck in a tiny Chevrolet car, hit by a heavy duty Beamer, a BMW, speeding. Who she slid on ice. The morning after the Super Bowl many years ago, 1994. And well, I mean, as far as I knew, I didn't really get hurt in that wreck, but about a year later, I started having major neck pain, and I'm living with that still. It's horrible. If my back's not hurting, I'm feeling it in my neck. Um, but I'm still grateful that I wasn't injured any worse because, it could have been a million things can happen when you have a car wreck. When you get hit by a car that hits you, turns your car around on dry pavement. The ice was because it was this water draining across the road that used to freeze all the time. It was right in front of my house. It was right beside my house, actually. I was waiting to turn into my onto my street so I could go to my house, and I got hit. And her car hit me, turned me around. She jumped a curb and then ended up running into a fence with a 2x4 through her front window. And she gets out and we're hugging each other like, are you okay? Are you okay? I don't know this girl from Adam. Still don't know who it was. But I'm grateful that it's I'm not grateful that my freaking neck hurts 24/7, but I am grateful that nothing worse happened to me because I've seen what car wrecks do, right? And And also that I was able to rebound from, because that was right after I quit. I kicked the guy out, and no more cocaine after that. I've never even seen any since then, and never been exposed to it. Stopped hanging around the people I was hanging around, and totally moved forward with my life. My life got a lot better after that. Um, so yeah, she slid on ice, and then I hurt my back. I fell on ice. So like when it's icy out, you're not going to see me out there. I mean, I just can't. I mean, I have to sometimes go out the back door with my dogs, but I'm so careful because that's how I hurt my back. And I mean, I hurt my back so that I had a 2-level fusion, which is major. Go look it up. There's so much information about dopamine deficiency and its relation to addiction and illness. Really interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think so, Maisie. I do think that this heat really brings me down, and I noticed a difference when it cooled off a few days, not just in myself, but my dogs. My dogs are I don't know, they're like 12 and 15. I don't know their ages. I adopted them, right? I got them. Rusty was a young dog. They said he was 1 to 3, but I don't know. Rosie, I'm not sure. They're both, I mean, I have Facebook memories coming through from 10 years ago. These were my dogs, and so I don't know how long I've had them exactly. I've lost track of all that. But they have been perkier, and they play with each other, and they're old, and they play with each other when it's cool. But this heat is just exhausting, and I'm with you, Maisie. It's really hard to um, practice gratitude on a day when you're just trying to stay cool. And so I'm going to do some more research on that, what you're saying, because maybe there's some answers I could get to from that. So do you guys have any thoughts on gratitude and what's been happening? I don't really want to talk about anything. I don't want to talk about anything specific, but what are you doing are you, obviously you guys are in here, which means that you're interested in this topic. And how do you practice? Yeah, I had a lot of close calls, CLM. How do you practice? I don't know. How do you take care of yourself? Do you practice gratitude, or are you interested in starting to do this? You want to take a challenge and everybody say, because we did this last time and really didn't get a lot of response to it. But if you, let's take a challenge. We'll come back on 10/3 or the Sunday near around 10/3, whenever 10/3 will be on a Tuesday. How about we'll come back on October 1st on a Sunday. That's 28 days or something like that. Well, it's not. I don't know how many days. I don't want to do math right now. I'm trying to talk. Anyway, let's try that. Let's everybody say, okay, I'm going to do this every day. I'm going to write down 3 things in the morning, maybe after you get the kids off to school or something like that. And 3 things that I'm grateful for at this moment and why. So it could be, I'm grateful that it's supposed to rain today. Actually, I'm grateful that it's cooled off today. I'm grateful I got to sleep in. I'm grateful that I got my kids off to school without any fighting or whatever is happening in your world. I'm definitely needing to try to focus. Yes, try to do it, Amber. Let's do it, or don't try. Let's do it. It's so miserably hot. I can't even with the heat. And the heat makes you tend to be, a lot of us, it makes us tend to be more angry and have a short fuse and mouth off and just be unhappy. And I think that's where a lot of the negativity is coming from is because people really just aren't happy. And nobody's going to make us happy. Like, nobody is going to just come along in your life and just be this God send human that's going to completely change your, overnight. I mean, positive people in our lives can help us to be happy, but there's no miracle that's going to drop down and make you happy or make your life better, make you not want to watch negativity and be more positive. It's everywhere you look. You turn on the news, it's just, there's just negativity everywhere. So, oh, thank you, CLM. Thank you, CLM. I appreciate that. Betty Dan Boop, listening while driving. Be safe. Oh, yeah, I used to listen to that. Angela, thanks for mentioning that. There's a app called, I think it's called Calm. I had one on my phone that I used to, back when I was actually feeling a lot better, that I was practicing this, just find some sleep meditations and turn it on, and there were places you could actually have it cut off when it finished, so that you didn't have to worry about your phone running, your battery running down or something else coming on. And you can listen to those, and they will actually help you to fall asleep. I don't have a problem falling asleep. It's just I'm not getting good sleep, and part of that's probably the pain, because I'm in pain all the time, and so that probably is part of it. And also, I find that Rosie and I tend to wrestle. She likes to spoon now. Of course, I'm her spoon, but she, now that it got just a little bit cooler and I got my bedroom pretty cool, she likes for me to spoon. She's just right in my chest, and I laugh because sometimes she just like scratches at my face, and I don't like that. But yeah, but you can use those when you wake. That's not really my issues, but yeah, that's a very good thing. And also, if you wake up during the night and you can't fall back to sleep, you can turn one of those on. Drama agitates you. Yeah, Maisie, I'm not sure either. I'm not sure how people can live that way constantly. And sometimes people say, well, this isn't my real life and I don't do that. If you're doing what some people are doing on here, then I mean, I'm just thinking that's part of your real life too. You can't be that mean on here and then go about your real life and be a happy go lucky person, unless you're a damn good actor or actress. And I'm definitely not either of those. So yeah, maybe so, Maisie. Maybe so. I don't think there's a lot of us that, um, a lot of us over here, a lot of us out here who don't, I'm not saying I don't ever enjoy the drama and that I didn't used to, because some of it used to be fun, actually, in a way, but it's just gotten so over the top terrible. Hey, Flame's new here. Welcome. Um, and I can't control what other people do on their channel. All I can do is not give them the view and not encourage them. Because CLM, woo, that's great. That's what I want to be. I want to be that. Um, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I mean, I do feel like most of the time I just have this like fog around a fog, like a dark cloud over me with this depression and stuff. And every once in a while, when it lifts, I can feel it. Everything's so much brighter and happier, and And so that's where I want to be. I just have to get myself back to that. And I did it before and I'm going to do it again. So, yeah, Deb, I'm a very deep person. Yeah, I'm kind of deep. Uh, and then, but again, nobody's going to fix us. We're not going to, and we're not going to fix them. Like, I'm not going to be able to go in and tell somebody you're being ugly and you shouldn't say that, and them give me even a thought, right? Yeah, start today, Deb. Just start today, and then on the 1st of October we'll come back and we'll see how we're feeling, if we're feeling any better. I'll start today. I've got a notebook laying right there. I'll start it and just write down 3 things that you're grateful for today and why. It doesn't have to be any big, you can scribble it. It doesn't really matter. It's the action, and actually do it, hand write it. If you learned how to write when you were in school. The rainstorm. Oh, good, Maisie. Yeah, sleep is restorative when we need it. I mean, it's how we're created. And so staying online all night, going around to all the different, you do cursive, me too, Deb. Well, all us old folks know how to write in cursive and read it, if you can read some people's writing, but you know what I mean. So let's do that, and then when we come back, we'll be like, well, at first, Barb, I just didn't think, okay, because she's asking nicely, I'll do it. And then about day, I don't know. If they say it takes 21 days to uh for something to become a habit. So do it, if we start now and we come back on the 1st of October, that's plenty of time to make that a habit. And certainly there's got to be a few of us that come back and say, yeah, that really helped. And it's going to make me do it because I asked y'all to. Oh, I know. It's hard to feel gratitude, Angie, and you went through a lot, and I'm so sorry for the fire and everything. But again, all that stuff happened, and we can't take it away that it happened. We can only move forward, and and gratitude helps with that. So try it, Angie, please. Please do it. We got to take care of ourselves, and I don't do it perfectly. Damn, I don't do it perfectly. But you can. No, nobody can be perfect. So we just have to do our best, okay? And I just feel for people who are on here. I do have empathy for people who are hurting. Even sometimes the people who are doing the hurting are the people who are hurt the most. And that's there, because depression can make you angry. And I'm thinking of one specific person right now who um, has been acting out lately. And I think that person is probably majorly depressed and is, and I don't know, because I'm not diagnosing anybody, but they're not happy. And you have to be unhappy to do the things that people are doing. And nobody wants that. I mean, why would you want to be unhappy? Why would you want to keep being unhappy? I mean, if that's all your channel is, then, and you're a creator, then you probably have to keep doing that. But that still cracks me up. I can do cursive. I can do cursive. All right, guys. Well, we're almost to an hour, and I've run out of things to say about gratitude at the moment because, again, I struggle myself, and I just think back, and this video I'll link it in the description, and you can go back and listen to it without interruption. And also there's links under the video, under her video, when you go to it, that there's links to her other, let's see, she's got Instagram. She's got a book called Kiss Your Brain. Um, she's a PhD psychology candidate at the University of Michigan. And I think that I'm going to actually look at more of her stuff because I think she can be a help to me, and that's what we're all about. Thanks, Flame. Have a great day. Yes, thank you. I appreciate all of your input, and I appreciate all of you going forward who are going to thanks, Deb, who are going to do this journal with me for this experiment and come back and hopefully have some uplifting thoughts to share with us, because I promise it works. And everybody, y'all have a great day and a great Monday off. I know the kids are going to be out of school and all that. Enjoy that time. It's just a regular day to me, but I appreciate having, a Labor Day, because there were many, 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 many years that I worked and I loved Labor Day. Sunny days put you in a bad mood. Oh, wow, right, Maisie. I think part of that is the heat, isn't it? And we're supposed to get rain today, so I'm hopeful for that. Again, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate my mods, and y'all have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.